Hello everyone, welcome to a live stream. Yes, a morning live stream. It's almost 10:30. It's pretty bright today. It's very hot, and that's my perfect weather. I thought it's supposed to rain today, but unfortunately, it seems that we're not getting rain today. But it did rain yesterday. Okay, so today I will be practicing some writing. So when it comes to writing, obviously I use WordPad. Now, you may be thinking, why use something like that? There's a reason why I use that. There's a big reason why I use WordPad. Because it's free. It's free. Perfect excuse. It also has some cool features. I used to not like this WordPad back in the day because I thought it was too difficult to understand. But once you get used to it, everything feels fine. So I normally go with the default font. I stick to 14 because that's better than 12. It's much better than 12. Then I click bold because I want it to be bold. I want it to be dark so you can see the words. I don't want to stare close to my screen just to see it, nor do I want to zoom in the page. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. So I can just keep it at 14. Oh, 14. Now I leave a couple of spaces on top just in case if I want to write something. So for today's exercise, we're not going to be writing a story. We're just going to be practicing making sentences. It sounds pretty ridiculous, but this is one way for me to actually learn new words and practice with new words. So we'll be using words that I've written down. Now, I've learned a lot of new words. When I was a kid, teachers would always say, books help you learn. You learn a lot of new things when you read books. I never understood that because it did not make sense to me. And it's kind of true sometimes. Because certain books don't really teach you that much. Certain books are just fiction. They're not going to teach you that much. But when you read really good books, they teach you new words. They teach you new words. They don't lecture you about it. They have the word written, and you just have to find the definition. It basically educates you without forcing it to you, you know? So that's really cool, you know? So I was reading the Two Towers, and I found a plethora of words I did not understand, or words I was just kind of confused about because sometimes I mix meanings of the words up. So I decided to write them down. So let's look at the list of words. Alright, there's just so many words to talk about. So I learned this new word, rill. Now rills are basically, how can I describe them? I'm terrible at describing stuff, so I have to apologize about that. So what I would normally do is go over here, search rill, and there we go. Now rill is a very difficult word because I have not heard that until I read the Two Towers. And then you click see the definition. And it gives you the definition. And obviously when you read the definition, you have to make sure you understand what's going on. Any certain long, narrow, or straight or sinuous trenches or valleys observed on the surface of the moon. A brook or stream, rivulet. So sometimes it'll be pretty difficult with the explanation. A small stream. A small stream. Streamlet. See, these words are like post-college level words and college level words. A small stream. So I have the word rill in one of my books that I'm working on. I'm using those words. I put the words to good use. Now, if you still can't find it, like, for example, certain stuff like nouns, sometimes you may want to find proper definition, not just like this, but you may want to see some images. So sometimes I search it with for images. You know, I search it with Brave, looking for an image to give me an example, just to have a proper example. So, rill. What sentence we could use with rill? So let me just search rills. Let me just search for an image, a lovely image, some inspiration. So basically, these are rills. Rills, basically. I'm sure we've all seen them. We've all seen them either on television or in real life. And I had no idea there was a word for that. Okay. So there's also smaller versions of this known as micro rills. So that's interesting. It's very interesting. Let's look at some images. I think that image is perfect, but I want to see more. It better not show me anything gross, because because um, I'm using Brave. Brave always gives you the worst things ever. Okay, this is a rill. These are rills. They look very deep, as if the rain just stabbed the soil, punctured the soil. But we've seen stuff like this in the past, so not a big deal. Okay, I have... Okay, so here's a lovely image. Water erosion. We have a gully, we have a side gully, and we have rills. These are rills, you know? And it leads to a stream. That's interesting. So, how do we use rill? How do we use rill in a sentence? Well, we have to think of something. So let's think of a fantasy setting and use the word rill. I might be very informal with writing because it's just for practice, but just remember that I try my best with proper grammar. I try my best to make sure that there's a lot of commas. I try my best to make sure that certain words are capitalized. So if I do make a mistake here, it's just a practice session, so don't worry about that. The rules. The rules. Alright then. That's an interesting word. I think I misspelled graciously. I don't even think that's a word. Sometimes I always do that. I don't think there's a word. Oh, that's a word. It's a word. So, hey, I'm fine. Alright then, moving on. The next word is gullies, which I've just mentioned just now. So the next word is, of course, gullies. And this is an interesting word because it's basically something we saw on the image. A small valley or ravine originally worn away by running water and serving as a drainway after prolonged heavy rains, a ditch or gutter. The position of a field. Okay, there's multiple meanings, but obviously I normally go with the first ones, but it depends on the context of the story. If the story is actually, needing anything like a ditch or a gutter, I will use it. Um, so from channels. So how do I actually find more images on it? I need more inspiration. I think the best thing for words is inspiration. As I said with nouns, sometimes you have to look at images just to kind of understand something, just to understand it a bit more because some definitions aren't clear. So as you can see, we have an image forming. This is a gully. I've seen something like this. We have seen something like this. We've all seen something like this. So that's interesting. That's very interesting. Let me see more images. I do not want to see anything gross. I keep forgetting I'm using Brave. I keep forgetting I'm using Brave. Oh my goodness. Okay, we have different images. We have large gullies. Um, okay, so here we go. Diversity in gullies. Okay, so that's interesting. That's very interesting. So how can we turn that into a sentence? The gully is formed by, I don't know. Okay, so there we go. An interesting two-sentence example. The gullies went on and on. Through many leagues they came and went. It seemed that they were made by crimson water commingling with blood. It doesn't make sense, I know, but since I'm mixing some fantasy elements, my sentence will have to do. So so yeah. Okay, let me see another word. This was a word I was stuck with because it looks pretty simple, but it's not. It's not. I've never heard this word until recently. So that's a problem with this word. And the way you pronounce it is very different. It's so different from its spelling. It's trough. Trough. A long, narrow, open receptacle, usually box-like in shape, used chiefly to hold water for food or animals. I would like to see an image of it, but I'm scared. You know why? Because every time I use Brave, they give me disturbing images. They give me images of naked people. I don't want to see that. If I'm searching for something, they give me that image. So now I have to use Google. I'm afraid to use Bing because I know Bing will do the same thing. So let me just search for this word. I want to get a proper image of it. I need to get a... Okay, no, my bad. Another H. I need to take out the H. It's going to be pretty difficult because I keep mixing those words out. Trough. So I need a couple of examples. I just need at least one image or two images to give me a nice example. Oh, what a lovely image. What a lovely image. Oh wow, so inspirational. So inspirational. So let me see the images. I want to see something clear to give me an example. Oh, basically this. This. Oh, these things. These things. Wow. I always thought they were just nameless. Okay. Okay, I have the perfect name for this. Perfect name. Um, okay, perfect sentence. Perfect sentence. Okay. Is it desert or dessert? Oh my goodness, I keep mixing these words up. It's dessert, right? Desert is one S and dessert is two S's. Okay, okay. I keep mixing them up. I keep mixing them up. I'm so embarrassed. Okay. Desert, desert. Stroll the desert. As if, okay. The great horses with blue and red eyes drank the fresh and pure water from the green trough. They drank as if they strolled the desert aimlessly. So, there we go. Interesting sentence. The next one is uh, swat. Am I pronouncing it right? I know these words always have different pronunciations, fancy schmancy pronunciations. Okay, the space covered by the stroke of how do you pronounce this word? Psych. I was thinking of it in the morning. Scythe. 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 I don't even know why there's a C in it. Okay, let me hear how you pronounce this. Swat or swat? Swat. Okay. 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 The space covered by the stroke of a scythe, or the cut of a mowing machine. So basically, when you cut the grass, there's a patch of swat. It's covered by the stroke. Okay, I'm still confused. I'm so confused. I still need examples. Swat. I'm not getting proper. I'm getting boats. I'm getting boats, everybody. Who will name their boat Swat? That's a strange name for a boat. Okay. Swat. Okay. Swat. Sweating. That's actually a thing. Sweating. Sweat. Okay. So, a line or ridge of grass, grain, or the like cut and thrown together by scythe or mowing machine. Okay, so a swath of grass. There we go. Cows laid on the cushy swath of yellow grass upon the young field. That's something I could make up. I mean, Once again, it's just examples. It's just pathetic examples. The next word I was actually struggling with was unshod. This word seems to be from Middle English, if I remember correctly. um, so basically, a simple past tense and past participle tense of shoe. So basically, not wearing shoes. You are barefoot. So, what can we write about barefoot? I am always barefoot. So, okay. How do you spell frolic? Okay. Is it frolicked or frolic? Okay, frolicked with a K. Frolicked. You swapped a word, that's the thing. You don't even know if it is a word, for crying out loud. Sometimes this dictionary does not tell you. It does not tell you. So you have to look at other things just to be sure, because if you don't, then you're just gonna get lost with words. Okay. Sometimes it takes forever to load, especially when I'm waiting for something. It takes like 5 minutes. But when I don't need anything, it takes forever. I mean, it takes swift time. So you can spell it as swathe or swath, I guess. Past participle. Swathed. Okay, basically, to wrap around, that's swathe. Then what's... Okay. Okay, my bad, I kept mixing it up. You can't spell it differently. Swathe is a different word. Swathe. Swathe. Okay. How about, since I'm very unsure about it though. There we go. The girls frolicked unshod upon the sketched fields. There we go, that's kinda cool. I feel like I've done so well so far, so I don't have to do that much. Anyways, have a fantastic day. I have to go and do a lot of stuff. Bye.